Hey, I'm comedian Matt Braunger. Happy New Year. I have a podcast where I give out advice, and the question I get so often that I had to kind of shut it down and go, don't ask me anymore, is how to make it in comedy. I'll answer that question right now. How you make it in comedy. How do you make it in comedy? You don't. No one does. Not just you. No one. I have 4 albums, 3 specials. I haven't had a real job in 10 or 11 years. I have a house and a wife. Still waiting. When do you make it? There's no making it. You can't look at it like, here, I'm done. No one thinks that way. I haven't had a real job in 10 or 11 years, like I said, and I still am kind of ruled by anxiety in that respect. Every comedian I know is. We're all kind of always freaking out. I think maybe that's the key. That's the drive. You're always worried about going back to your job at Cinnabon or wherever you were. Honestly, you name a comic. I'm a paid regular at the Comedy Store. My name's on the wall. One of the greatest honors of my life. And everyone I work with there, and there's some big names, they're all like, when's this all gonna fall apart? I have a mother who is one of the most incredibly intelligent and amazing people I've ever met in my life. She's very accomplished. She's a doctor of English. Before she retired, she was a person who would travel the world teaching teachers how to better teach. And at one point in my life, she said to me, when do you stop worrying that people are gonna find out you're a big fraud? I think that's a part of everyone. So embrace that. You're never gonna fucking make it. That's not a thing. But to answer your question more is, how do you be a stand-up comedian? Well, the answer to that is, do it. Just do it, and then do it again, and do it, then do it, then do it about 10,000 more times, then do it again, then don't stop doing it. That's the only answer I can give you. I wish there was a better answer. I wish there was some magical elixir you could drink that would make you hilarious and give you a career. That's it. You just have to do it as often as you can. Dan Harmon had the best analogy I've ever heard about it in terms of how you get people to notice you as a comic or an artist. Is like, remember when you'd get lost as a kid in the woods? Maybe you didn't live near the woods, but you'll get the analogy. Basically, your mom was like, if you're lost, stay where you are. Don't go wandering around. We'll find you. We're the adults. We'll find you. And not to say the industry are the adults, but just get as good as you can possibly get. Yeah, open mics suck. They're horrible, but that's the point, okay? It's training. They say in the Army, the only thing you have any control over is the amount of work you put in, how hard you work. That's it. That's all you have control over. In the Army and the world, humanity, and comedy. As much as you can do it, just do it. Just keep on doing it. Like, give yourself some breaks. You don't have to do 7 sets a night. You'll have an aneurysm. You'll probably kill yourself. Don't do that. But there's no shortcut. I wish there was, but there isn't. It's one thing I notice with a lot of people, and I won't say the new generation, it's my generation, it's everyone's generation. Everyone loves being lazy. It's the best. But there's no shortcut. You just do it. And do it because you love it, not because you want to make it. Another thing, watch as much stand-up as you can. That's a part of it. That's a part of the growth. And I'm not talking about on your TV. Go see it. Go see stand-up. Stick around. Go early to the open mic and watch people. Go to comedy clubs. Honestly, a lot of comedians, myself included, will just put you on the list. If you see I'm coming to your town and you're a young, broke comedian or an old, broke comedian, DM me. I'll put you on the list. You can watch me and my openers. I don't care. And I'm not saying watch me. Watch anyone. Watch as many comedians as you can. And notice how much stuff doesn't matter. Notice how unbothered they are when stuff goes sideways or stuff is weird. Understand a big part of your job is just rolling with stuff. I know you're worried about bombing. Great. You should be. It sucks. It's the worst hell. But at the same time, it's a hell you have to go through. Go up there and eat it. Eat. That's a part of the growth. And take real chances. When you're at these open mics, do what you think is funny. Don't do stuff that you think people will enjoy. That's a huge mistake. Just do stuff that makes you laugh. If they don't laugh at it, whatever. Maybe you didn't tell it right. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't funny, but at least you did something that's true to you. I'll give you an example. There are times early in my career where I'd go up in front of a bunch of blue hairs, bunch of old people, and I'd be like, wait, I should do something a little more clean. I shouldn't do any dirty stuff. But then I went against my nature. I did the George Costanza, where I was like, let me do what I think is totally wrong. And I just did some dirty stuff, and it killed. And it killed because those old people were from a generation that was denied that. And they kind of liked having the dirty stuff in front of them because it was forbidden, and they got into it. So there you go. There's an example right there. I second-guessed what I thought, and it was a good thing. You gotta be yourself. You gotta be who you are. Another thing is, be as different as you can. Find out what is really different about you. What is your perspective? The big secret is, everybody who's at a comedy show, all we want is to see the world through that comedian's eyes. The end, as long as they're entertaining. People enjoy it when they relate, but you want to be told a different story that's familiar. Try to steer away from your perspective being anything like anyone else's. Find out what is unique about you and bring people in. Bring them into your head and have them look at the world through your eyes, rather than go up there and do the thing that kind of drives me the craziest, which is what you call clapter, where it's not really laughter, but people clap because they agree. Often that's political. And I'm not saying don't be political. Do anything you want. I'm not sitting here setting rules. I'm just giving advice from my perspective and, the 20 odd years of being a professional Dumbo. Just share who you are, no matter who that person is. But try to be honest with yourself about who that person is. As you go on, you're going to be impatient. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Your journey is your journey. And that's about as new agey as I'll get right now, but it's true. One of the biggest death knells is getting impatient and getting bitter. It's going to take however long it's going to take. And you getting bitter, you getting angry at the scene or how it's not working out for you, and you turning into a person, unless it makes you funnier. If you turning into a person makes you funnier, God bless. It's probably going to wreak havoc on your personal health and your emotional state. But if it makes you funnier, that's the only thing I'm trying to give advice on right now. So go with it. But honestly, being bitter is the worst thing for you. And I can't stress this enough, but I hate to say it, but be nice. Be cool to people around you. Make friends with comedians that you like. And I'm not saying be thirsty. Don't go up to comedians that are doing really well and I make friends with them. I can network. Make friends with the people that you connect with. And you'll make your own scene. You'll all come up together because it's constantly in a state of revolution. Everyone always wants to see new, funny people. I do. I still love being a fan. I could name right now 20, 25 comedians that these days are eating my lunch. They're hard to follow, and I love it. It gives me drive, and I'm a huge fan of theirs. And if they're playing the club I'm playing, I'll stick around at the store or the Improv or wherever, Am I gonna say their names? No. This is my video. They can all kiss my Finally, not to get long-winded, I'm gonna wrap it up right here, but just take chances. There's no better feeling than all of a sudden someone, when you just reach down and just go, I don't know if this is gonna work at all, but I'm just gonna jump without a net. I'm just gonna go. It is all based on you and your failure, and there's no real safety net. It's like Helen Keller said, there's no such thing as security. Life is either a great adventure or nothing. So go for the great adventure. Just try something on stage that you think is funny. If it falls in its face, at least you tried it. That whole middle area where you're like, I've done this bit 100 times and I know it kills, so I'm gonna do it. after a while, you kind of just start like hating the bit and kind of hating yourself. So try stuff. Just give it a shot. Try just, you know, some weird thing you thought of that day. And when that lands, that is the best feeling ever. Last thing I'll say, I swear that's it, but I read a book by a defense attorney where he just said, the truth just sounds different in court. When someone's like, that guy did it, that's the murderer. It's a bad example and an example of terrible acting on my part, but basically it just sounds differently. So when someone's on stage and they're going through an act they've done 1,000 times, everyone kind of just settles and they're like, all right, well, this person is kind of phoning it in. But when they just drop the pretense and go, God, I'm sorry, I just found out my wife is cheating on me. Then everyone's like, oh, okay. Now what, you're sharing something real? Try to have your whole act be like that, where it all feels and sounds real. And the best way to do that is just to, you know, just be real. So hope that helped. And good luck to you and Happy New Year.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. If you liked that video, follow me here. Go see me on tour here. Or subscribe here. Are we good? It's really hot.